Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at what's been going on most recently with the price action and what might actually happen next. Now as I get into this video, if you find this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now in the description down below you're going to find a link to our Discord server, a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check that out today. And also in the description down below you're going to find links to our Patreon services. We do offer more for our Patreon members down in Discord, everything from buying and selling and staking alerts through to project reviews and trading, a whole host of additional benefits as well. So if that's your bag, why not check that out. Okay guys, let's waste no more time though. Let's jump right down into this. Here we have Bitcoin paired up with USDT. This is the hourly chart and Binance is the data source. Now, as we were kind of talking about yesterday, we had these two key levels, 18,626. This essentially is our lower dashed line down here. And then we have this higher level at $20,918. Now, as you can see, we're still trading right within these realms. Nothing much more has really happened here in the last kind of 24 hours. Now, obviously, we have our macro wave 2, okay? This is basically coming down after a 5-wave move to the downside. Okay, now for this, to be kind of complete and to be over with, then we are looking at coming down lower than that 18,626. If we cross higher than 20,918, it confirms that this second wave has not yet finished. And if it hasn't finished, I'll give you the idea of where I think the most typical area for this to go will be. So if I grab hold of that, just put it there, and we'll be looking at about 21,099. Okay, so not too much higher than the existing 20,918. It'll just be $21,099. Okay, so you can see it's just barely ever so slightly higher than where we are. Okay, so that would be kind of the expectations there. Probably, considering Binance likes to have things on nice round numbers, it'd be 21,100 in my opinion. So, there's that as a possibility, right? And, right now we're potentially tracking a couple of additional moves, i.e. this is an entire wave 1 coming to the downside, and this is a wave 2 coming to the upside, okay? Obviously, crossing that 20,918 would invalidate this structure at the moment, and would basically be looking to start a 5-wave drop at a later stage. Okay, so right now for Bitcoin we're in a kind of state of flux. It could be in either direction, okay, but I think the most probable scenario here is that we probably have this slight surge upwards, or yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of got a little bit more in the tank. We probably could take out that high point of 21,100 and then see a significant drop to the downside. Essentially, everything that I'm looking at on Bitcoin here has quite a lot of bearish setup. So I'm going to go through some of that with you in this video, right, outside of this Elliott wave theory, because a lot of this hasn't changed just yet, and we don't know which one of these is going to be valid, i.e. we're just going straight down into this 3rd wave drop, or we're just going to push a little bit higher and then start a wave 1 drop. Okay, those are the kind of the two options here. It's inevitable that we're going to drop down, in my opinion. We also have this high point here at 21,888, and it is still technically possible that we actually push up higher towards $22,000 to $23,000. Okay, possible but not probable. And we're actually inside the wave 4 up here still. Okay, though even with that, the only way to invalidate any of it is to move up higher than 29,282. It's the only way to invalidate these lows that are coming in my opinion, okay? And so the highest probability scenario here is a significant drop to the downside. But I'm going to go through a few things with you to help you understand what it is that I'm seeing here as to why I am so bearish on Bitcoin at the moment. So here we can see the stochastic RSI on this hourly chart. This one is indicating that we are almost oversold, and we could see that little surge to the upside, okay? That surge to the upside could complete our wave 2. So I do think that's a probable scenario here, meaning that this is not a wave 1, this is not a wave 2, but this entire thing here is a macro wave 2 within our fifth wave drop. Okay, so there's always that as a possible scenario. Okay, so looking at our hourly stochastic, I think we've got this kind of momentum to the upside to be had. Now if I grab that volume and I throw the volume on here, you can see that we've been pushing the price up, and whilst we've been pushing the price up, the volumes have been dropping. Okay, so this is not a good indication of any pump of significance, right? No one's really kind of getting involved in Bitcoin at this stage, and essentially what we're really witnessing here is essentially a bit of a fake pump, a push to the upside based on very little volume. So I'm not expecting too much here. If anything, we're going to probably push up towards our higher area. Maybe we just get that double top scenario and then drop down. Okay, so be very, very cautious here with that. So as I come up into the 4 hourly, here you can see that we're close to the overbought area, but we're not there yet. So that small pump that I was talking about, possibly coming up to the 20,918 double top scenario, or pushing up to 21,100, essentially should take us into an overbought area on our 4-hour stochastic RSI, in my opinion. The 8-hour is already up in the overbought area. The daily is already up in the overbought area. Essentially, all these kind of macro levels, they're indicating room to the downside, room of significance to the downside. So we should be, really thinking about this, thinking that actually the price is probably more than likely going to be dropping down. There's a higher probability of downside than upside, and not only from an Elliott wave theory perspective from structural points, but also from a momentum behind the price. There's no volume pushing the price up. There is a lot of volume pushing the price down. Now, when we start taking a look at what we've kind of got going on here, this is the 8-hour chart, and we can kind of be really obvious about this, but essentially what we have is this move to the downside. Now, if I throw the volume on, if I can down, here you can see loads of volume coming in as the price fell down, and then the volume is coming off. It's basically dropping off, right? So if I draw that down there, you can kind of see that we are dropping this volume to the downside as we are basically coming in around about here. Really, we started to drop the volume here and here. Okay, so we have this kind of triangular wedge shape pattern at the moment. Now, from an Elliott wave theory perspective, we know that these kind of triangular patterns, they tend to be in wave 4s or wave Bs, right? Now, looking at it, this could be either, but I think it's probably more of a wave 4 scenario, as we kind of spoke about before, within our 5th wave drop. As in, we have 1, 2, 3, this is all 4, then we drop down into 5. Okay, now outside of Elliott wave theory, of course, we can take a look at this and we can look at it slightly differently. Here we can take this low and we can take these lower lows or higher lows up here. Okay, and we can also take these ones here, right, where we're setting these higher highs scenario. But actually what this is a bear flag. Okay, and what we have is this pole and then the flag just here. And this particular area here actually has a high probability of breaking down to the downside. Now, we might test this upper band a little area. Okay, that's the one kind of outlier, that one scenario where we can see that potentially moving up towards $22,000. I don't think that's likely, though. I think if anything, we're going to get rejected from this area around here of 20,900 or 21,100, and then we pull back down. But essentially, this is this bear flag signal isn't exactly going to be striking many people with confidence. You couple this with the momentum behind the price, the stochastic RSI indicator, and it's also telling you a very similar story. So again, this helps us understand that actually there's more bearish kind of scenarios here than bullish ones. Now, of course, we can look at the stochastic RSI, but we can also use the regular RSI as well. And here we can also see, some divergences. We have a stochastic RSI, a regular relative strength index increasing whilst we're setting these lower lows. So, for example, if we take this point and this point right here, we can also see that our relative strength index is increasing here as well. Okay, so you can see that this is different. This is a divergence. So again, not what you would want to see as we higher up our relative strength index whilst dropping the price to the downside. So again, not exactly going to be striking us with a lot of confidence in the space. Okay, so obviously here we've spoken about a few things, right? We obviously have our stochastic RSI indicating that a drop is highly likely. We have the potential of a bear flag, and we've got a relative strength index also indicating divergence here when it comes to the price action of BTC. Now, outside of this, you also have all of your support and resistance levels, and we're starting to really come up against heavy resistance now. So I do think that there's highly likely that we are going to be seeing a reasonable amount of room to the downside, okay, and not really a lot to the upside. But there is, of course, a couple of scenarios where we could see that slight push, right? The 21,100, and of course, we have this really kind of pretty much a good confidence one, maybe of around 23K. Although this would be highly unlikely because there isn't a lot of momentum behind the price, okay? So I wouldn't be holding my breath for that particular scenario to the upside. Essentially, the direction of the trend is down, and anything moving up is counter to the trend. Our trend is a 5-wave move, okay? That's kind of what we've plotted out here, okay? It has 3 motive moves, which are basically 3 directional moves to the downside, and 2 counter trends, okay? Which are basically this corrective move and this corrective move, okay? So essentially, we are tracking to the downside. Our trend is to the downside. And at the moment, we are potentially just in one of these counter moves with these corrective moves just to the upside, trying to bring a bit of confidence into the space. But really, there's not a lot of confidence you can really try to bring into here, in my opinion. We're looking for the third wave drop, a bounce, and then a pullback to the upside. Alternatively, of course, as I said, it's possible that actually all of this is our macro wave 2, meaning that if I delete this off and just draw this on, this is wave 1, this is wave 2. We then draw back in 3, 4, and then finally 5, okay? And we are very, very close to the bottom, in my opinion. We are inside our macro 5th wave. We're tracking, if I draw this on this 8 hour, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I think we're inside this, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? And inside our third wave drop here, I'm expecting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you kind of get the idea, right? We can kind of nest this down as we go, but essentially we are trending to the downside, in my opinion, here for Bitcoin. I think that's going to continue for a while longer, but we are getting a little bit closer, ever so slightly, to the bottom of this bear market, where I think a reversal is going to be due. Now, when I jump up into our Bitstamp data, jump this into our weekly view, pull this back down, and get rid of the stochastic there. Here we can see all of this information, right? This is multiple cycles, and as of course we come on here and we throw the Gaussian channel on, obviously we have a look at the history of this. We can see that we're a few weeks into this now, and this is really roughly where we have that next push to the downside, right? We have the initial surge down, and then we just have that one last little drop afterwards that bottoms this out. This usually happens within the first quarter of this red section. It happened historically over here as well. We pulled back down, we bounced up, then we fell down one last time, and the first little section of this area. So right now I'm expecting within the next kind of probably week, maybe 2 at a push, this next drop to the downside to be done. And then once that is over, we kind of slowly work our way back up and into the Gaussian channel, above the Gaussian channel, and then off into the next bull run, in my opinion. So from the Gaussian channel perspective, everything is looking pretty good. And yeah, basically we're just kind of waiting out for this next drop to happen. It does look like the momentum is indicating it from the stochastic RSI. The wave counts are indicating it. A potential bear flag is indicating the next drop to the downside as well. The Gaussian channel, historically, with how it's performed, is also indicating a slight push to the downside as well. Guys, I'm going to leave this video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.